Well, welcome to Block Party. I'm your host, Mike Wahle. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying, please subscribe, rate, review on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Check out Block Party, our Process to Perform channel on YouTube. Subscribe to that. We do a video breakdown as we always do. And of course, our show's sponsored by Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, basketball, hockey to entertainment, political props, BetOnline's got it all. Political props is something I missed out on this year, but God, I wish I would have done it. Anyways, head to BetOnline today to get on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Packers fans, we had ourselves a great day today. Here's what we learned, really, okay? Packers win 38-10. I honestly just beat the brakes off the Niners. There's some statement about how many years it's been the Niners' worst loss in a long time versus the Packers. Blah blah blah. That's all great. Here's what I got out of it. Okay, two things. One, I guess offensive linemen matter. Okay, and two, maybe the most important stat: 16 of 44 for 2.8 yards per carry. That's all you need to know about this game. You want to know anything about this Niners game on Sunday? 16 for 44, 2.8 yards per carry. That is the Niners rushing offense. I have never heard of an output so low with a group that is so talented at the skill positions. And I'll get into it a little bit later, but it proves my point. That is a very average offensive line with a generational talent who happened to be hurt. And the Packers defense absolutely trounced this highly regarded, highly copied running game. Okay? Now back up the backup quarterback, Brandon Allen. He really tried to rally. The kid tried, right? 17 to 29, 199 yards, had a touchdown, had a pick. Can you make a fantastic grab and save that one? Maybe. But didn't play poorly. You are limited. I mean, Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback. It probably makes the Niners fans appreciate Brock Purdy more, particularly on some of the stuff where he gets rattled in the pocket. But if we're going to be honest, this is exactly what I think of when I think of the Niners without Trent Williams. The Packers beat the Niners physically up front at every single position, including tight end, which just shocked the hell out of me because I think George Kittle's amazing. Awesome to watch. Really special shout out for me, TJ Slayton, who we have not mentioned his name on the show very often this year, not because he's not a good player, just because you play nose tackle and you don't really, you're kind of a body, unless you got a shtick like the grave digger. Maybe people don't know you're Dexter Lawrence and leading the league in sacks for a while. People don't notice you. But I thought for a portion of this game, I thought TJ Slayton actually took the game over. A couple series in the second, man. Really played well. Offensively, the Packers did everything they wanted to do. So Josh Jacobs continues to look like maybe the best signing in free agency, all pro. It's him and Derrick Henry right now. It just looks unbelievable. He's making really good defenders miss at a really high clip. And there's some tape in here. You're just going like, Fred Warner doesn't miss tackles, and Fred Warner's, pounding the ground, shaking his head, slapping his hands. He's pissed a lot because Josh Jacobs, I can't say this enough. Like, the guy is playing unbelievable, but also trying to read this offense. Like, if you flip the camera and put it on the defensive side and you put yourself in a linebacker or a safety position, and you're just like, okay, who's got the ball? Where's it going? What the hell is going on? This reminds me of watching the Bellevue Wolverines back in the day when they were winning national championships up in Seattle, Washington. And they're pulling the left guard to the left while the ball's actually, and they got the dive fullback while the ball's actually going to the right. You're going, what the hell is actually going on? This is really incredible scheme design by the Packers offensive staff. Half the runs that I'll show today, the linebackers run themselves out of the play. They have no chance of making a play. You can give him like a pass along block where you just go, hey, go ahead and I'll pass you along, go that way. Jacobs finishes 26 for 106, 3 touchdowns. But as a team, so again, it's not great numbers, but you watch this and you go, oh my God, like 26, that's not even a great yards per carry. But you watch him play and you just go, dear Lord, he's good. But as a team, the Packers run for 169 yards, only 4 yards a carry. Again, these numbers are insane. I mean, to get 160 yards, 170 yards on the ground in a game is really remarkable, and I feel like they're doing it. I feel like they're doing it every week. I mean, I know they're not. I know logically that they're not doing this every week, but I feel like they're doing it every week. Now, Jordan Love finishes 13 to 23, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, although a couple toss-ups there. So it's not like this stellar output from Jordan, but he does exactly what he needs to do. I think everyone in the building is really happy that he's only 13 to 23 for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he doesn't have to check the ball around 42 times like he did in the rain game a couple weeks ago against Detroit. Right? Run game takes over. Like the game could have been 38 to 10, the game could have been worse. Let's watch some offense. Awesome. All right. First things first. Like, what the hell's going on here? So you got the entire offensive line going to our right, their left. You've got 2 backs in the backfield. One's going over the top. You've got your Tucker Kraft going across the center. When they go across the center, for most rules in defense, when the guy goes across the center, it means something. Okay? It's changing. Like, in other words, one call over the center, another call. Okay? Now he goes back. And so what was the check for the Niners? For a lot of this game, the check was when he leaves, we're chasing him. So the way that they're going to attack them on the backside defensive end, even if whether they're bringing a safety or not on the backside. And the backside is now our left, their right. The viewer's left, the Green Bay Packers right. When that's the case, they're crashing that end. They might be bringing a safety off the side, okay? So that means they're crashing the D tackle. That means the other D tackle is either playing into the guard or is looping. And so now the backers have to make a read. And you watch this, it's like, well, what would you do? And so they cut the defense. I mean, they don't even block the backside D tackle. So historically, if that was Marco, we would tell Marco, like, man, you got to get that guy moving vertically, and you got to cut the defense there because they want to get that guy to the A gap, and that's where the hole's going to be because the backer's going to run outside. And so that's actually a really, really tough job. They don't have to do that at all. In fact, they let that guy go to the backside A gap, and they just cut the defense by running Tucker Kraft back across and hitting the defensive end. Now we got great leverage from Zach Tom and Josh Myers on the backside because those linebackers are trying to chase the eye candy in the backfield. And Josh Jacobs has literally nobody to tackle him. I mean, holy hell. And so it's impossible in these plays to not sound like I'm minimizing the job that the offensive line is doing. I mean, I think they do a very good job. I don't think that they're dominant players, but I think they're doing a very good job. But as a former offensive lineman and run game guy, I'm just going like the ease of which the coordinator is making their jobs on a number of these plays is insane. But both for the running back, the wide receivers, and everybody blocks hard on this team, right? Regardless of how good you are at doing it, everybody blocks hard. But the scheme is insane. All right. Great run. By another spin, another missed tackle, by the way. Hell. Okay, so we got 2 in the backfield. So now we go, all this is counter. Or so we used to call this stunning. So tight end blocks down. Elton Jenkins pulls. They got a fullback lead. Okay. And because of all the speed of everything, okay, they don't really know where to go. So Floyd is like boxing in Jenkins because the tight end disappeared. Devondre Campbell's running outside for the spill, but Jenkins is just going to kick out and they're going to lead through. And so it's like everybody on their team is in the wrong position because they don't know what to do with all, they motion him back across and then he comes back, but it just turns, this is just counter. It just looks different than what everybody else is doing. And then they just bring the slot receiver in, crash on the safety, which is the block of the day right here for this play, and gives him another 8 yards. Love it. I put this in here because you don't always see Jordan Love hit this play in stride. Like, it's just a basic play. But look what hitting him in stride does. So instead of having to turn around, we saw this from a bunch of other teams, including the Niners. You got to catch the ball back here and spin around. I saw the actually Sam Darnold and Aaron Jones. It made me think about it in their game. Aaron had to spin all the way around and then fight to get like 3 yards, where we fall forward here for 7-8 because he just puts it where he's supposed to. Little things, man. Pride in blocking. Okay, Jaden Reed. So we're running a toss play. We got a bunch look with a tight end hipped off. They're going to run a quick toss, which when I say quick toss, that just means the backs, it's in shotgun and the back's on the same side as the toss is going to. So it's not like I got a pistol inside out of under center. So we do a quick toss, and watch Jaden Reed here. So first off, the outside receiver he really is going to take two. The corner's soft, so he pushes to the corner and ends up taking the safety because he knows the corner's soft and they're probably going to cut this back inside. But then watch Jaden Reed here. Tucker does a good job. Everybody does a good job. And Rasheed Walker does a fantastic job of staying on his track here, and that really makes the play go, and I should have highlighted that, but I'm an asshole. Jaden Reed, I love the way Jaden Reed fights through this. I mean, look at that's a domination block. If you're watching this from the other side, this is off the screen. Rasheed Walker also had a domination block. Just fantastic job. Got 2 tight ends, 12 personnel. This is the best no gainer you're going to see all day. So that's Fred Warner. Fred Warner is, for my money, him and Roquan are the best 2 guys in the league. I mean, tough. Then he trucks the next guy. So, we used to watch Barry Sanders. I was playing. You used to watch Barry Sanders, and he would get like a 1 yard gain or 1 yard loss. He'd be like, "That was the best day ever I saw all day." Not the same here, but kind of the same, right? Fun to watch, man. So a little pick play here, and the way that they make this work is actually really smart. So they tighten this split up, and they're going to run like a seam or an over. And all they need to do is give Jaden Reed out of the backfield again. Because remember, putting Jaden Reed in the backfield, the defenses don't. When you build a defense, you're not building it with your slot or your Z sitting in the backfield. It's like, where do I sit this guy? First of all, who do I sit to cover him? And then where does he sit? Does he sit outside the hash, inside the hash? Does he mirror him? Does he play outside leverage, inside leverage? How do we do this in the context of the rules, knowing that he's going to get a free release? Like, how does that work? And now I'm part of the run game. So where's my run fit? So a lot to think about from that one player that's sitting on the hash mark here. Just get a little pick. He throws a dart because he knows he's going to take a big hit. Gets down there, fantastic. Go return motion. They run this screen. Look how many things should have gone. First of all, fantastic throw under pressure. But right there, I'm thinking balls popped out. I don't know how he scored that. Tucker Kraft's having a hell of a year, huh? I'm ready to turn into a fanboy today. He's having a hell of a year, though. Love watching that kid. Probably hyped up he scored and Kittle did. I bet you anything Kittle's his hero. All right, here we go. Turn motion again. I mean, who's on first, guys? What are we doing? We got play side. This is just an inside zone to the left. Okay? With a split flow look that everybody's been running for 3 years based on the 49ers run scheme. But because we bring him across and back, again, center over and back, and because we got Jaden Reed in the backfield, and now we don't know what to do with him on the backside, we booked the safety on the backside. But they've pushed everybody over to the front side. And so the two linebackers that are being hit by the goalpost, I think that's Fred Devondre. They're not supposed to be that close. And they don't really know how to read this because there's so much shit going on in the backfield. And so a play where Sean Rhyan probably doesn't get to Fred Warner most of the time, gets, he ends up, I don't think he ends up getting there now, but he ends up late on the read, and all you need is a half step with Josh Jacobs. So right now, usually this is a tackle, but he's half step late. Of course, Elgton Jenkins doing his thing, right? Pop out, 2 misses, and then run through for 3 more yards. This is easy math, okay? What I'm saying by that is you're bringing a guy all the way across the formation. He's going to end up booking the backside. So the backside here is going to be our left. The offense is right. So you just take out our left tackle is going to block the end. He's kind of not really part of the play. But then you got 2 easy double teams. So double play, 2-eye, left guard center up to Devontae Campbell. And you got the 3 technique up to Fred Warner. Okay, you've got an oversized tight end up to your safety is staying in the box. And now you're bringing, I think that's another tight end, or maybe it's a running back that you're bringing to cut Floyd. Okay, so you've got numbers. They literally don't have a player to make the play, given the numbers that you're bringing into the box. Okay, it's just easy math here. But you'd never know what's happening because they hike the ball when the guy's outside the tackle box. And so they're getting these runs where you're just going, he's literally, if he doesn't have to make a guy miss in the hole, there's not another guy to the safety. It's another 8 yards. It's crazy. Fun football. So here's the first issue with this motion. So they bring him across. The guy that was standing on the receiver, the near receiver, decides to take off, which means the guy that I've highlighted in red is like, oh, hell, that means I got to come back and guard this guy. All right, let me do that real fast. All right, now I'm guarding this guy. Okay? And because of all this mumbo-jumbo happened on, when Elgton Jenkins pulls, again, I don't know exactly what that technique is that the defensive end's trying to do. You're not leaving your outside shoulder open so you can maintain outside leverage, and you're not wrong arming him to make it obvious for the safety who's supposed to have a run fit. So the safety behind the defensive end has no clue where the running back's going to go. And because of that, Wilson just takes a quick right, 9-9s, okay? And the outside leverage guy, had to run down and I think it's Christian Watson, had to get right on him, doesn't keep any leverage because he's in man coverage now all of a sudden. Like literally right before the snap. And so he has no idea what the hell's going on either. So it's just the amount of thinking, like the best players in the world don't have to think, man. They're just reacting. Hey, you got to think this entire pre-snap is just like, I got to think too much for this. We're going to go back and that was a good hit. Okay, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves now, right? Let's slow it down. He'll move Christian Watson leading in, man. This is the only time I've ever seen Josh Jacobs get trucked. And it's like, Watson, man, maybe this ain't for you. What are we doing, bud? Man, it's tough. Hey, it's not that he doesn't want to. It's just they don't ask me to run routes, All right, I love this route. So I think this is a 3rd down play. This is a key play. This is a bullet from Jordan Love. But you see what happens. They break into a cover 2. Okay, but they run 2 a little bit different. They take the corner and orbit it and take him back into 2, and they take the linebacker and run him to the flat. Okay, so they got 2 deep. They got Fred Warner running down the seam with the inside receiver. But that guy covering Dobbs, the safety on the downside here on the 50, is staring at that seam. All of a sudden, he gets off it just for a little bit right there, and then it's like, too late. Window throw. I don't know if he's going to make that play anyways, but he sure is not going to make it if he's got to worry about that seam throw. I don't know if anybody's running a slant, some derivation of a slant better than Romeo Dobbs in the National Football League right now. Look at this setup. Of course, short. And he's winning by a lot. Whoa. That was me. He's winning by a lot. All right, here we go. You see this, and so we got the setup, send the outside, and right here we still got that quarterback squared up, so he thinks he's in good shape, except for you got a lot of space now. And I like how he wins flat and then builds his depth. Great play. Elton Jenkins, key block here, singled up, and for like those who don't understand, this is a really tough block actually because you're on the goal line. This guy probably has a proclivity to step inside. You're on the backside, but you don't want to get washed down. So you have to like be able to stay square and drive this guy back into the end zone. And it's not like you have to sustain it for a long time, but you got to make sure you get movement back and you don't collapse. So what happens a lot with these guys is they'll step inside, and then this guy will kind of collapse down the A gap, and it leaves this B gap wide ass open for him, a safety and a linebacker to make a play. He does such a good job here. Again, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but just staying square and taking that and then driving him back into the end zone, and that's the hole. And even if he doesn't, he didn't sustain it, whatever, this is a fantastic job doing everything you need to do to get that guy open. Awesome. And then Tucker Kraft, this is just a, hey, welcome back block with Devondre Campbell. So fake and just lights him up. His guy, when you run that smash, that nasty look on the tight end, so the safety comes over the tight end. I forgot what it's like. It's losing the other thing it's called. Here. So 27 is going to be playing man coverage, and then he sees it's a run. He's trying to arm tackle Josh Jacobs. Big problems. So they look fantastic, and it was great. But there was nothing better than watching this defense playing against the Niners offense, man. I really feel like when you remove generational players from the equation, it allows, like when everybody's equal, the better technicians, the team that is better coached is going to dominate. Okay? Now, the Niners are the standard in running the football in the National Football League for the last 5 years. And maybe they don't lead the National Football League, but I'm talking from innovation, all the things they can do from their offense, all the different weapons that they have, McCaffrey, Debo, Juszczyk, Kittle makes everything go. But one thing that is always overlooked is Trent Williams is a person that literally removes a human from the screen. And it's usually, it can be play side, but more often than not, it's the backside defensive tackle where he just erases that guy, and there's this huge running lane from McCaffrey, and he gets a bunch of big yards off it. When you get rid of a guy who, so now the next guy is good, but he's like, the bandwidth is back to in here. There's not this weird outlier that's over the screen. Then the better, more physical, more prepared players are going to show out, right? So they have a Hall of Fame tackle and this, Hall of Fame play caller, quite frankly. And I don't want to minimize the loss of Brock Purdy because it does matter. I mean, certainly, and it matters, and I'm sure that's what everybody's pointing to. But I watched this. The Packers beat these guys up front consistently all day. It was a fun watch, man. Like, again, 16 of 44. Like, I don't know if you'll ever hear that stat again for the Niners. Let's watch some of this tape. Okay, so first things first. Love that they started Wooden, honestly, because they're gonna, they go 21 personnel. Talking about the Niners, they love to run the football. I think Wooden's better than Van Ness in this situation. You just maybe want a little bit bigger body. So I love this, but then I'm like, wait a second, is he guarding Kittle? Is he guarding Kittle? He's guarding first play of the game. Oh, good one. Is that what we're doing? So we got our two tone setters. We got George Kittle, who's by far my favorite tight end in the league. And then we got Isaiah McDuffie. Okay? So inside hands win. Real simple. McDuffie win. Inside hands, press, release, turn back inside. And you just got, and this is what you really saw all day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys getting in on this tackle. Let's give credit where credit's due to Quay here. Making a good run. Can't get up. Good job beating Brendel, getting back to square, making a tackle. This dude, devious. Like, so they line the D tackle up on the centers away from the linebacker. They free rush Rashawn Gary. And then they pick the guard and Kenny Clark. They did this a couple times. If I'm this and they hold an Igbari. So here's what's happening, okay? They're thinking that Trent Williams is going to play. So they put Isaiah McDuffie out on the side with Trent and go like, screw it. Why even rush him? Don't even waste our time. We don't have anybody who can beat him. They move an Igbari inside just to hold the left guard so he can't leave, so they have to go 5 down. Then they just pick stunt with Quay. They pick the right guard, and there's no way Brendel is going to be able, unless they go full slide right, there's no way they're picking this up. There's nothing he can do because that guy crosses his face, and by the time the D tackle crosses his face, Quay's already there. This is just devious, man. And then Rashawn Gary does a good job here. I don't know if he knocks the guy's elbow. I don't know what the hell happens, but ball bounces out, bounces back in, get a sack. Fantastic. This is as it should be. George Kittle's a tight end. Eddie Barr is a National Football League pass rush specialist. This is exactly what you should expect. When you go into games, and you should expect to be better than the guy you're playing against when it's like a tight end. And as good as Kittle is sometimes, it's almost sometimes with guys, because of the media and everything, they maybe get more. Maybe guys give them more credit than they deserve. And I think Kittle's, again, I think he's the best tight end in the league. But to me, a good pass rusher. I think Enibari's, from a size-wise, I think he's a good pass rusher. I just think he might be a little bit undersized for a 320-pound tackle sometimes. But for this, like, he should expect to win this every single time, and he does. Fantastic. And this is where you miss Brock Purdy, right? He might look downfield and make a play. Allen's not able to. I like these plays. I just bring this up sometimes. It's not for the Packers or anything, but this is when PI is PI. Okay, so they just run a drive with Kittle, and he just runs through his guy, which forces the other guy to get run through as well. And then they just run a quick out with McCaffrey. It's just a simple play, man. I think it's really smart. I like that stuff. I don't know. I think this is just a good-ass play, man. Yeah, this is just good-ass play. I mean, you're kind of looking at this and you go, all right, so they do the handoff, then they hand it off again. They get back to the quarterback, and instead of throwing it deep, they throw the screen. I know we've seen this before, but you just look at it. They got like 5 or 6 linemen over there. And there's not, there's within the immediate area of the person holding the football, not even within 10 yards. That's just good ass play. We'll probably take it. I would and steal it. I love this view. Look at this. Okay, so first off, Rashawn Gary does so much in the game besides get sacks. We don't give him enough credit sometimes. What's wrong with him? Like, the way he plays in the run game is actually really, really good, particularly when guys are coming at him. So he cuts across Kittle's face right here, and that makes Kittle go around. It makes it late on getting to McDuffie. So McDuffie takes his shot in the hole. All right? But watch everybody else after that happens. First of all, I think Rashawn Gary ends up making this play on the pulling guard. So look how many dudes are there. I just swarm tackle all day. It's amazing what a little bit of confidence does when the quarterback's out or left tackle's out. Those like their key guys are out. It's amazing what a little bit of confidence does. So I think they make a mistake down here. I think this is the Debo effect. So first off, I think Evan Williams is looking over here at Debo on the in the right slot. They make a little bit of a communication here on the bottom, but obviously Kittle should not be left in that situation. But Evans is in a tough spot where you got 2 all-pro guys. It's like which is the lesser 2 evils. So good play. This is one where you got to go. So when we talked about the defensive end, we got a wrong shoulder on the pulling guard. So wrong shoulder means we're spilling it. But who are we spilling it to? Well, in this case, it should be Xavier McKinney's just got to run through this and go. He's got to read a little bit faster. So they end up getting around and over. One to learn on. I don't know if Stokes should show up there earlier. One would think so, but forgot to watch the widescreen on that one. This is where, so this is Rashawn Gary, and this is what we're always talking about. So he has this great move. Back it up. So that is a good-ass move, okay? But because he's off the guy's body and the guy's arms are extended, he can tent pull him and push him by, hypothetically. But if you stop the frame here, you're like, oh, man, he's got it. If you would just do this one step earlier or attack him back in, now Brandon Allen really has nowhere to go. And this is kind of what we're always talking about is earlier in the game, he ran around the right tackle. There's a bunch of nonsense going up in front of the quarterback. I don't know if he hits his elbow or shoulder or something. The ball bat's loose. So now it's like it reinforces this, oh, I can run the loop and I got the ball out and it's a big stat. And you want to continue to see the power rush. Even in these situations, if he takes his left hand and puts it on the chest of the left tackle, probably has a sack here. Instead he gets run by. Let me go for a little bit of gain here, which could have been a sack, turns into a gain. So this is a little bit of an awareness play. We see this stuff from the Packers offense. So they've got these tight look with the tight end attached over on our right, their left. They motion across, and they've got this backside, really side. What the Niners coach, the offensive line coach, he likes their Bs, their backside looks, and their doubles to look the same, so that the D tackle doesn't know what to do. So in this case, it works. So instead of attacking that half man, he could have, we're talking about Wyatt. Wyatt could have just attacked the tackle and stayed square there, but he turns and acts like the ball's going to his left when in fact they're handing it right where he was. So it opens up the hole a little bit more. Quay has to fight off that block and make a play. I didn't put enough in here at DJ Slayton. He had like 4 plays in a row where he just dominated. I mean, just really, really had a good. Sometimes when you shut down a series or two like that, like especially at the nose tackle position, man, like that can change the outcome of the game. So nothing to be said. Just another pick from Xavier McKinney. Boy, he's having a good year. What a pickup! Imagine Joe Shane sitting. I love Joe Shane, the Giants GM. He's a really good dude. Really good dude. But he's probably looking at Saquon and Xavier McKinney going like. I think there was something on that Hard Knocks where they said like, "Hey, we can't have a $60 million or $40 million quarterback handing the ball off to a $20 million running back, whatever it is." It's like Kenny and Saquon, especially what's going on with Daniel Jones right now. Tough sport, boys. All right, here we go. Again, so they do the whole tap thing. So it's okay, Mike. Why do they do the tap thing? Well, they do the tap thing because you don't want the center just looking under his legs the entire time. Okay? So Quay starts moving when they do the tap because what does he have to do? He has to put his head under, in between his legs to signal everybody that he's going to snap the football because everyone's on timing based off his head movement. So then Quay starts sneaking over. Quarterback doesn't, or the center doesn't have a clue. Pick. He's through. Everyone's on the ground. Complete carnage. Throw the ball away. These are big plays in the game, guys. Okay. Earlier in the game, and I thought I had this in there, but we're going to end on a Lucas Van Ness sack. Because, damn it, we love him. Earlier in the game, they ran the same play where they're pulling a guard and nobody else is stopping him. In the last one, they didn't have a running back. And he hesitates, and he should have had a sack earlier in the game. We've seen it a million times. 57 did it like 2 weeks ago. Just ran, screw it. I don't care if the guard's coming around. I'm going to the quarterback. And he hesitated and he didn't get it. And then later in the game, he got this chance. Tight end releases, tackle blocks down, and he just goes. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he runs through the fullback. The last time the running back wasn't even there. He didn't have to. He runs through him, ends up making a play, sack, fumble. I don't know if they give him a sack here. Actually, I don't even remember. I don't know if his hand was going forward or anything. That's a hell of a good play, and it's a great play of learning from the last time you saw that and making the improvement. And I think that's where when you kind of look at Lucas Van Ness in general, that's where he's going to get his plays. Like that is a really good football play that you are not required to beat an all-pro tackle in order to get a sack. And I think he can get good NFL players can get 6 to 8 sacks a year doing that. And so that is very, very that's a very positive thing. I don't have listener questions today. We do have a game, we being the Packers, against the Dolphins on Thanksgiving. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. I'm not going to be doing a show on Thanksgiving because I'm selfish and haven't seen my wife and daughter in a while. Everybody have a great holiday. We'll talk to you after the